Are you guys caffeined up? Because we're Spinn Coffee, and we're very happy to be here. I want to say, first of all, thanks MakerConf for bringing us over. And I want to give a shout out for the people back home in Amsterdam. Serge, team in Eindhoven, Amsterdam, we're here. Anyway, Spinn Coffee, we're making a connected coffee machine, and we're using centrifugal force to brew a cup of coffee. It's a completely new way to brew coffee. And as you all may know, the world loves coffee. It's very hard to make your own coffee at home in the perfect way, though. Coffee after water is the most consumed beverage, and after oil, the most traded commodity, so there's a huge opportunity there. If we look inside the coffee industry, actually we're using very old techniques and methodologies to brew a cup of coffee. If you look at the pressure techniques out there, for example, we have the espresso, the AeroPress, we have the French press, for example, and the majority of the world is still using drip over, so the filter coffee kind of ways. We came up with a new way to brew coffee using centrifugal force. Enter Spinn, a better version of coffee, because it tastes great, guys. This is the machine, it's right over there, you can check it out. It is an all-in-one machine. So what we did, we developed a centrifugal force brewer that is spinning, where there are fresh beans in the reservoir. There is a grinder below the reservoir. We grind the fresh beans. It ends up in the centrifugal force spinner, and it starts spinning. There's water coming into the spinner, and based on the centrifugal force, it drains the coffee out of the system. So the beauty of the system is that we can make a single serve, a multiple serve, and a whole pot of coffee from fresh beans, but also we decide how fast the spinner goes. So if you ramp it up, we can make a perfect espresso because of the pressure buildup. We can also make a French press, we can also make a drip filter. If we go for a coarse ground with a lot of water and a low RPM, we make a perfect filter coffee. And it's all based in this one machine. So it is patented technology that we developed back in 2007. We have the granted patent on 3 continents. And Nespresso actually bought a non-exclusive license in 2009. They launched a virtual line machine. It's out in the market now with those round pots. I don't know if you've seen it, but that's our technology. We're gonna take it to the next level because we think there's a great opportunity to enlighten people with great coffee also at their homes. You have to realize that the average American spends like $5 a day on coffee out in a coffee shop because it's too hard to make a great coffee at home, right? Well, we're going to change that world. It is a connected machine and it's auto-replenishing because in the reservoir there is a sensor, and when you get below a certain threshold, it will automatically order beans for you from your local roaster. So what we did, we made a marketplace for local roasters, you know, guys like Stumptown Coffee, Blue Bottle hopefully, Intelligentsia, and those type of guys that make beautiful coffees. And we aggregate all their data and content in one beautiful app where you can browse through the different coffees and you can put the coffees to your bean list. You see an example here on the slide. There is a bean list where the bean list is used by the machine to automatically order when you get below that certain threshold. So it is auto-replenishing and is connected in your home. The next step of our machine, hopefully we can open up for the roasters that then can make the perfect brew for the spinner. Because it's connected, we let them use their own recipes in our machine that are out in households everywhere, basically in the world. And that's what we're aiming for. So our business model is both based on the machine and the bean. So the revenue comes from the machine, but also on the marketplace and the revenue that we're making on every order that the machine basically places. We're going to use a coffee subscription model there. So we raised 800K so far. We're building the prototype, and we're at PCH Highway 1 now. We came from the Netherlands in November. We headed up the company. In February, we were here in San Francisco, and we're now on our route to actually get the machines out there in about a year. For that, obviously, we're raising more money, but this is what we've done so far. So we have a great team. 3 amazing guys. So one is the business guy, one is the coffee guy, and one is the product guy. And then we have the whole team back in the Netherlands for the moment in Eindhoven that is preparing the machine, and we'll get the second version of the machine here in San Francisco, hopefully 20 May. But there is a first version of the centrifugal force brewer that I can show you later on the table. So we're reinventing the coffee basically. We call it smart coffee because it's connected. It is using centrifugal force this completely new way, and I hope that you guys will walk in a Starbucks in 3 years and ask for a double spinner latte. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Roderick, stay up here for a moment. We're going to get some questions from our judges.
Please.
You're really reinventing coffee here. Let's get it going.
How much is it going to cost?
We're thinking about $25 a month. So there are different ways on how to actually do this. It can be a hybrid model where you pay part of the money for the machine and then part for the beans. But we're aiming, well, I'm not going to tell any we're working on the BOM now. But it should be available for normal households in the United States.
I'm confused whether you want this to be a household product or an industrial product, because you talk about Starbucks.
Got it.
Where's your focus?
That's a great question, actually. So we're going after the residential market first, but we are also thinking about building a bigger brewer, for example, for B2B use. If you look at this event, for example, how hard it is to make great coffee here, we can think about a big centrifugal force brewer that can make a gallon of great coffee in a minute, basically. But for the moment, we're looking at the residential market and the small office and home office market, where the residential market has a small hopper. You can see the reservoir of the machine over there. And then the B2B version or the Soho version will have a bigger hopper where you can chuck in 3 kilos of coffee.
Did you say that Nespresso is using your technology?
Correct. So if you look at the new machine, the virtual line, you know the traditional small capsules, the pots probably. And that patent has expired 3 years ago. That's where there are a lot of different other companies now using the same hardware form factor, basically. And Nespresso came out with a new machine, which is called the virtual line, with new pods. It looks like a UFO, and that is spinning as well. And that's using our technology. So they bought a non-exclusive license in 2009 from my partner, and this is the result of that technology in the machine. So this is the world nutrition leader that actually tells a very broad audience that there is a new way to brew coffee using centrifugal force. They don't use it very much in their marketing, but we think that centrifugal force brewing can be the next step in, we know espresso, we know AeroPress, but now we have Spinn Coffee as well.
So there's a couple of other factors that are pretty important for coffee, like water temperature, things like that. Do you guys have any funky PID control or?
Correct. So the beauty of this system is that we can manage all those different parameters. So we can control the heat of the water, the amount of coffee grind that we grind, and how fast the spinner goes, so how high the pressure buildup is. So we talk to a lot of roasters out there and a lot of baristas out there, and they are really astonished and amazed by the results of the coffee that comes out of our spinner, because we basically can decide on all those parameters. We can decide how long the coffee is actually extracting in the brewer chamber, for example. So we're working together with a lot of coffee specialists on what the best recipes are in this machine.
Are you already shipping the machine in the Netherlands?
Unfortunately not. We're working on the prototype now. And we hope we're at PCH Highway 1 now, and we're looking at shipping the product if everything goes according to plan. If we're able to get the money together to do this, then we'll ship in a year probably. More critique questions, guys. Come on, grill me.
That's all right. Probably almost out of time. Any more questions? All right. Roderick, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Spinn Coffee, everybody.